Tab L, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the evaluation committee selection of Bermelo Ajamil and Partners, Inc. as the highest ranked firm to provide architectural and engineering services for the development of the Cagney Park North site. Further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate an agreement with the selected consultant in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in request for qualifications number 33-18-19, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Once again, for the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. As the city manager mentioned, this is the companion item to the previous one. This one is simply for the selection, or the evaluation committee selection, if you will, of the architectural side of this component. The committee has recommended the architectural firm Bermelo Ajamil and Partners Incorporated in response to RFQ number 331819. As was included in the council report, our department received 14 proposals in response to this solicitation. The evaluation committee proceeded to evaluate these proposals, and they determined that they shortlisted, if you will, the top ranked 6 firms to be interviewed by the committee. The tabulations for the committee, both for the initial evaluation and the second evaluation, are all included as part of your package. Once again, as was said for the previous item, this item is not only requesting your approval of the evaluation committee's selection of the architectural firm Bermelo Ajamil for the Cagney Park North project, but is also asking your authority for us to proceed to negotiate and finalize an agreement for the necessary architectural and engineering services for this project. As mentioned before, and I just want to state for the record, that in the event that we are not able to reach an agreement, that the staff reserves the right to proceed to the next ranked firm on the list and to continue on until we can reach a successful agreement. Here in support of the item, once again, is Mr. Derek Corker, Mr. Jeff Geimer, the project manager for this project, and a couple of representatives from the architectural firm of Bermelo Ajamil. This concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, we will be glad to take them.
Thank you very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on the item. Public hearing is now
Jessica Alston, 1140 Northwest 125 Street, Sunkist Grove. I want to know if it's possible to include incentives for NOMI resident employment in this project. Is it possible to include incentive or an opportunity for NOMI residents to receive employment and participation in the project?
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. You don't need to address it. Not only is required, but the final footprint of the negotiation is going to be, you're going to bring it before us for approval. That's mean, and job to the local residents. It's extremely important, and I even think something important. And since Councilman Desulme came on board, I think we passed a resolution about any project over 500,000. You need to 200. Yeah, for those big scale of project, the community action plan need to be input. That's mean we want the project, but at the same time we want to make sure that we have participation of the community and the residents of the city. And one thing I want to mention to the architect, one of the main thing of the project is a full-size Olympic swimming pool. It's not a swimming pool. We said a full size. I don't know if you're gonna take $9 million out of that $10 million to build the, that's the only thing I wanna see there. A full-size Olympic swimming pool and the rest. Do we have any question on?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Question? Yes, go ahead.
We don't have a final plan approved, do we?
That's what we're doing. We are selecting those two companies to go and do that.
No, let me,
To finalize,
well, no,
yeah.
no, please allow me to address this.
Yeah.
You all approved an interlocal agreement for this project that actually has site plan elements that we're
Yeah.
required to build.
Elements, but we don't have a plan.
That is the
That
plan.
is the plan. We don't have the side view of
The
the
design they
architect.
will do as part of this, but you did approve the site plan.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have a description of whether we have a Olympic or a.
Yes, that's.
No, there's a,
That's-
Councilman,
I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Keys, an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That was my main thing in the project. It's my project, and I have the support of the council members. The
Wow.
first thing I said, it's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's what I've been saying since 2013. There is no, is it an Olympic
there.
size or whatever it is.
So that's in the plan.
It's in the site plan,
Yes.
yes. The site plan, the elements of the plan.
Olympic-sized swimming pool.
So
Okay.
let me ask a
And I think you have a baseball field and multiple other things, but the Olympic-sized swimming
I
pool,
don't-
it's the most important thing.
I didn't know we had been finals. I haven't, just a question through the, mayor. I'm looking at pictures of previous constructions, and in both packages, they're showing the same project at, Palmetto Bay Park. So, did they do the same architecture review management and the architectural? Did they work together on this project? Or they're just using the same picture?
Possible. Kirk, would you like to,
Kirk Olney, Bermeo, Ahamia Landscape Architect. I'm not sure what you're looking at. Palmetto Bay is a athletic complex that we designed a number of years ago, and we use it as in our resume.
It's in the package of the previous one, the same Palmetto Bay Park construction. Is it in our bid proposal, or?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you're asking me.
She's looking at your bid, we included your bid proposal in the backup. So if
The
you have
proposal,
that,
yeah.
that,
It's a project that we designed,
right,
and
so that project is in your
Yes.
proposal.
I think she's looking.
When you say it's in both, what do you?
But, so this is selection of Thornton, the
No,
previous.
no, the previous was,
I'm looking at the previous tab with Thornton, and a picture of your Palmetto Bay Park is in this package, so I was just wondering,
So they worked on that project.
but that's what I'm asking, they both worked on it?
yeah, that was the question. Yeah.
So you worked on it together?
So one of our partners or our staff work on that, which is RDC. They work on that project, same as many other projects that we have incorporated in our package. And we have worked with Bermeo Jamil in many other projects. In fact, we're currently working together in a project similar to this project in Dorel, which that one's gonna have a concert hall and it's gonna have other components. But yes, we have worked together in the past.
Okay, because you both use the same picture, and I was just wondering.
Which I didn't know that, but, okay, that they use that, but.
It's a really unusual picture, so you see it and you see it again, I just saw that, so, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, and we have a motion, a second.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin to approve the item at tab L. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you. Next.
Tab M, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, establishing a pre-qualified list of contractors for the provision of home repair services for the city of North Miami residential rehabilitation program at a cost not to exceed $60,000 per project. In accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in Request for Qualifications number 32-17-18 and the program guidelines. Further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute agreements for the provision of stated services with the selected firms, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. This item was tabled at the August 27, 2019 council meeting.
Once again, for the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. As the city clerk just mentioned, this item was tabled at the last council meeting, so we're simply bringing it back before you. The item represents the results of the Evaluation Committee's recommendation of the list of pre-qualified firms or pre-qualified contractors to participate in the city's residential rehabilitation program pursuant to solicitation titled RFQ number 321718. As reflected in the report, this solicitation was issued by the Purchasing Department requesting proposals from licensed contractors with the goal of creating a pool of contractors for the city's residential rehab program. The primary goal of this program is to provide a safe and suitable living environment for eligible residents by carrying out the necessary repairs and rehabilitation of existing housing within the city. In response to this solicitation, the city received 16 proposals. These proposals were initially reviewed by the Purchasing Department to ensure that they each met the minimum eligibility requirements in order to be considered for this solicitation. All of the submitted proposals were deemed to be responsive with regards to the minimum requirements and were forwarded to the Evaluation Committee for their review and evaluation. Based on the committee's review of each applicant's experience and qualifications, the Evaluation Committee is recommending that the top 12 ranked firms be approved as the initial pool of contractors for the city's residential rehab program. The final ranking for each of these firms is reflected on the second page of the council report. As these projects are identified, contractors on this list will be invited to submit a price proposal, in other words, to bid to perform the necessary work. The maximum amount to be issued under this program for any single project shall not exceed $60,000. In the event that it's considered necessary, staff reserves the right to resolicit for additional contractors to be added to the program. Here with me tonight in support of this item is the city's Director of Community Planning and Development and also the city's Housing Program Coordinator. This concludes my presentation of the item, and if you have any questions, we will be glad to take them.
Mr. Mayor, one other thing. In the briefings and our discussion on this item, we'd like you to also consider a slight modification which would limit the time frame of the list to a year for consideration for renewal.
How many years is in the contract?
Right now, it's just, it is constrained by the dollar amount right now.
But the problem we have when we're doing those RFPs every year, that's
Just consideration for, I guess, a renewal.
okay. For one renewal, for
Ye-
2 years instead of 3?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and
Okay.
that was one of the things that I suggested,
Let's
and I,
open it to the public.
Okay,
And after
that's
that,
true.
we'll that.
thank you.
And public hearing is open on tab M.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. Kevin Burns, 2065 Alameda Drive. It's great that we're going to have some money to spend and help people with their homes. The devil's in the details. You're dealing with federal money, state money, and local money. CRA money, and then, of course, the CDBG money. So the guidelines are very cautious. Just be very, very careful because when you're dealing with this amount of money, this number of contractors, and relating right back to a comment that Councilman Galvin had just said about why do certain architectural firms or contractors drop off. We've been seeing in Miami-Dade County where people shop projects. I'll take these first 4 houses. you take these 5 houses and, you know, this is what we're gonna price it out at. And this is notorious going around. It's nothing unique, but it's South Florida. I hope that this tremendous amount of money that this council is investing in the housing stock, is monitored, that the price isn't gouged, that it's not manipulated between, the vendors, because it can get away from us very quickly. And because you have the Fed dollars and it's gonna be scrutinized, and because you have CRA dollars, it's already, gonna be looked at. So I'm just gonna suggest that we have a handle on how the contractors, how their bids are proposed, who's gonna oversee the day-to-day procedures of all this, because it can get away from us very quickly. Why we need 12 contractors where, you know, the top 8 would have been perfectly fine, but that's not for me to talk about. The more the better, I guess. But we just need to be really careful, especially when they know that it's up to $60,000 per project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Public hearing still open on the item, on tab M.
Jessica Alston, 1140 Northwest 125 Street, Sunkist Grove. It's my hope that this list of these pre-qualified contractors will be made available to everyone, so that someone who maybe not be found qualified to meet these guidelines can investigate on their own to have these services made. You understand what I'm saying? Of like a person who may need some repairs on their home
Mm-hmm.
and may need the assistance of a contractor. I hope that this pre-qualified list will be made available to everyone and to them, so they can take advantage of getting qualified workers on their projects.
I think sometime if a resident wanna have something done in their home, they can call the city and get those as recommendation. Public, if they pull a public record, they can have access to those companies, right?
If they pull a public record, then they know the names, but we're not guaranteeing any work. I just don't want to make any suggestion.
No, the city's not
that-
gonna make
Right, that we're not
recommendation,
making
but
any recommendations. of
no, we
any
understand that.
contract. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about public record. Thank you very much. Public hearing still open on tab M. Public hearing is now closed. Can you say something on whatever and former Mayor Kevin Burns said that something we've been doing for years, right? We're dealing with odd money, with our guidelines and things like that, right?
That's not, no.
Where the money is coming from?
Marie.
Tanya,
Tanya.
can, that's you.
So in terms of the competitive nature of the process, it's historically always been that way, that you have a bidding process and you have contractors that are listed. Now we've changed in terms of the timing. We're having like a 1-year period, where in the past we've had either 3 to 5 years, but it's always been a competitive type of pool.
And we are managing 3 types of money. You have the odd money,
There's
you have
federal
the,
HUD, there's CRA, and then there's local. City of
sometimes we
North
have
Miami
general fund money, okay?
Correct.
Each of them have
And
their
there's
own
state, I'm
policies
sorry, there's a
and
fourth,
state,
there's state,
okay.
the SHIP funds.
Thank you very much. Second, what you do have?
Yes,
ahead.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is so vital and important to the residents, especially those who receive services, who ask. I have, in conversation with the manager, that we carefully know that these folks not only doing the work, because I have received some complaints about these particular, providers either rushing the job. I have gone out, most of the ones that are in my area, and just to make sure and receive photos and stuff. So please, whoever is in this pool, because I know this is not enough. I know we're going out again to get more, because we have 2 issues. We have a backlog of folks who's been waiting for at least over a year. So I am happy that this might help to speed up the process, especially with us spending more money. But these folks have to work with us, Mr. Manager, to make sure that we understand you are in here to make business, to make money. We understand that, but you have to give our residents at least the best that you could do. Not to just, this is a quick flyby. It's not gonna work, at least in my area. So if you out there, you're doing some work, make sure you have your best game forward and you are treating these residents with respect. Do not talk to the residents in reference to anything. The guideline, please talk to staff, because we had several occasions where contractors said something that was very unprofessional to the resident, and you know, we had to make sure, and I know, Marie, you have done an amazing job, and we want to make sure that your department is run thoroughly, that this money is fluid. Like Mayor Burns said, this is something we've been doing for years, but it needs to just get a little bit tighter and better, and especially the experience that the residents have, because if these folks come to us for whatever the need, they qualify, we promise to do a work. It shouldn't take 2 years to get a roof done. You got several hurricane season going by. And the other problem, we need to make sure that these contractors are doing the best that they can on a professional manner when dealing with our residents, et cetera, et cetera. So, Mr. Manager, with your recommendation, Mr. Mayor, if any comments, I'll definitely move forward with the amended.
Councilman, you got to say it on record. You have no question, okay. Carol, no question, and okay. The proposal is 3 years, and we commit 1 or 2 years. What do you propose?
I was just saying just 1 year, and then we you know, whichever, because I know there's another one that's coming
As
out.
a matter of fact, we have
for
money.
more.
We have money
Yeah.
we can't use because of that list. The list that we don't have. We have the full CRA budget for
Yes.
this year. We haven't touched yet because of that. Okay.
Is there a
Madam
motion?
Clerk, is a motion to.
There needs to be a
That's what
second.
you
I
have
just
to
need
keep-
a,
Go
well,
ahead, go
there are
ahead.
comments that were made, and I'd like to clarify that. So are you recommending that it's a year with option to renew, or you're?
No,
Because as it's stated right now, it's asking for a period of 3 years. So I'm just trying to understand the amendment that
My
you
amendment
are.
is just to have this pool of pre-qualify for 1 year, and then.
And we open.
Yeah, we
okay,
open it.
Okay.
There will be other in the process, because I think Miss Marie, there will be more,
Because we
need
have
more.
different program. We have
Right?
the rehab. We have.
Yeah,
we
different
have
things.
Yeah.
Marie Franz, Jean Ferris, housing manager. Yes, we do have multiple funds.
Okay.
So it will be
Each
beneficial
fund
if we can
require.
different,
a
we
new-
have housing
okay.
guidelines, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So I'll
Madam-
second it
With the amendment,
with the
1 year
amendment
term.
for, correct.
Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab M with the amendments proposed. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab N, proposed ordinance, second reading of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, providing for text amendments to chapter 29 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Land Development Regulations by amending Article 4, zoning districts, and the official zoning map to establish the Special Development and Transit-Oriented Development Overlay District, clarifying the bonus density allocation provisions, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and for an effective date.
Thank you very much. It's a second reading, right?
Correct.
Can we open it to the public? Public hearing is open on tab N.
Again, good evening. William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. I'm speaking in favor of tab N, but I'm using this opportunity to speak more broadly about other zoning in our city and the fact that we should possibly very much consider sort of supersizing our zoning at this time. I don't know if anybody's realized how surreal the situation is tonight, where a little bit over a week ago, we could have been like the Bahamas, North Bahamas. We're having a meeting and everything is so very, very normal. And out on the street, it's so very normal. And the devastation, had that moved over, not even 100 miles, had it moved a few more hours over, had it not stopped dead in its track and hung out there for so long, which was bizarre in itself, could have ground North Miami to bits. And if that had happened, we would have had tens of thousands of people with a housing problem. My point is, and we'd take years to recover, and we wouldn't have a meeting like this. We wouldn't have electricity for who knows how many weeks, months, or more. And if it went up the coast and hit not just Miami and Fort Lauderdale and West Palm and Jacksonville and the
Mr. Mayor,
rest.
can we ask Bill,
when-
can you get to
this
the
is
point
getting
on
to the
this
zoning.
topic? I know, but this is,
I have my 2 minutes, thank you.
you have 3
so-
minutes, but the problem
Yeah.
is that you're going on a dissertation about Hurricane
Well,
Dorian.
well, I'm doing, it's about the zoning. But where would North Miami be in terms of getting restored? We would be really low on that list. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to have this zoning go by. We need to amplify all of our zoning. We need to get bigger, better, quickly. We cannot take the dilapidated homes in our area and try to fix them. They will be the first to blow away. Our homes are no different from the Bahamas. Slab on grade, wood frame construction roofs, windows blow out, roofs come off, debris all over. The difference would be that our debris field would be so much more than the Bahamas. We have such greater density, and we have nothing stopping those winds. So my point is, let's forward this, let's maximize it, let's create more opportunities through this city to do whatever we can as soon as we can, because we're cutting it very close each time. Thank you for consideration for supporting this and future measures.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open. Public hearing is now closed. We have 2 mics, please.
Everybody likes to wait till the end so they can be the dramatic one to come up.
Hi, Marisol Medina, 1270 Northeast 124th Street. That area, I see that there's an R6, and there's a lot of R6 throughout the city, and I was just kind of curious if maybe something like that can be implemented in some of the other R6 areas. Some of them are, I think, 7 stories, but a lot of it's very short, even though it is R6. We have, for example, R6 over there by the railroad tracks, which is close to where we want to kind of have our transit overlay for the new train system, if it, to encourage that kind of thing. And I just see that, there are a lot of those sections that maybe we should look into implementing higher heights. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is now closed.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab N. The motion was seconded by Councilman Desilme. Vice Mayor Keys, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Estimé Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Bieneme, how do you vote?
Yes.
The item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab O, discussion regarding Hurricane Dorian relief concert, proceeds to benefit victims in the Bahamas.
Thank you very much, and we all know what happened to the Bahamas, and I don't know if Natasha want to give us a quick overview. You're not from there, no? Or she don't wanna, okay. And we want to thank our residents for helping with supplies, and those supplies gonna be turned to Miami-Dade County for transportation. And in another way, we try to see if we can raise some money and putting together a concert. And secondly, as mayor and council, if we can use our travel money to have a delegation go over there and assess the need of the people and come here with a better understanding on what they need. That's what we're asking for. That's the discussion. Go ahead.
On the subject matter of travel, and the manager's leaving, so maybe somebody else. Okay. Do we, if, for instance, if the mayor wants to go to the Bahamas to assess the situation, does that have to be approved by us?
No,
I've never heard of
because
us-
we passed a resolution previously stated with a list of travel that need to be that we can use. Anything outside that list need to be approved by mayor and council. That's what we have
So
that.
somebody refresh my memory then. What did we limit travel to?
It's got to be for public purposes. There is something, a type of things out of the country.
Was that passed while I was here? 'Cause
We
I don't
we
recall.
have some.
I don't recall that resolution.
I've never heard of anything travel related coming to this council for us to pick and choose who gets to
Yeah.
go where.
Okay, for outside of the country, if it's not a sister city, and I'm pretty much sure we have a list.
We had a delegation go to China not long ago. We don't have any sister cities in China.
Okay. You're not aware of that.
I'm not aware of any resolution. It's not an ordinance, so it's not in our code of ordinances, and I'm not aware of any resolution. If you're saying that you passed one in the time you've been here on
Is
the
it
council,
with the budget?
I'd have to
It
go
is
back
with
and
the
look.
previous budget, something? We put a list of, you remember with that situation with Haiti and
None of us
we
remember
passed
it.
some, okay. I'll bring it to you guys. Okay.
So
For the concert now, okay, forget about the travel now, okay.
What's the idea behind the concert? Something like in the field at North Miami High or at the
Yeah,
stadium?
yeah, that's what it is.
I'm totally cool with it as long as we are careful about who collects the money. Because when people are walking in and throwing down $20 in cash or whatever, you know, we got in trouble a few years ago collecting money for disaster relief and
We're
then
gonna-
not dispersing it in the right way, et cetera, et cetera. So just as long as we have a tight hold on who's collecting and where that money directly goes.
We let that in the end of the city manager. To
Would
find
be-
that entity, that 501c3 that can do that.
So how
Okay,
much,
it's up to the
Mr.
administration.
Mayor, how much are you vision to raise for the with the concert? What's the goal?
I don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
I don't know. The city
Are we doing
managers put in
100,000?
together. You just
I think
wanna.
my question would be more, what's my budget to kind of put
To
this
do the
thing-
concert
put
too?
this thing
Okay.
together?
Because, well, yeah, we got to. Yeah, I mean,
We
it's your
got to
items.
raise more than we are spending.
Yeah.
That's when if
That's not easy. It's not easy.
that's what we got to make sure. And we're not supposed to pay those people like full price or whatever it is. It's people who wanna help you, give them a stipends and whatever it is.
Right,
and-
as a matter of fact, I would even state that our first priority should be to get people that would do it in kind. I mean, it's not uncommon that people would give their time to do that. So that's where I would, and give the minimal amount possible, because it is for relief or disaster.
I
so
got
it
you.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll follow that.
Okay. I talked to the manager, and the manager think it
Would
would be
we-
appropriate to bring it for discussion on the dais. That's why we bring it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with the council that if this is sort of like a Live Aid concert, the people coming to perform should be performing for free because they also
No, you
want to.
cannot. It should be. We're gonna ask
why can't-
them
Well, we can. We shouldn't have to pay them. They should be coming in.
if they said no. If nobody said yes.
I think you'll find people who are
Right.
willing to donate.
But you got to find people that's for people to come. It's not just if you want to find people, you can fill a room with people, but do they have followers? That's the question.
So
So I mean, I'm willing to give the field and staff and all, but I mean, I'd like to see our performance come in as a donation to help, you know, offer the relief. And the second question is, now that we've collected all this money, where is it going?
The money is
Well,
going
we
to,
haven't collected
we
anything.
haven't
No,
collected the money.
No, but
if we
but-
got okay.
But we're
Okay.
doing this to collect money to raise
Okay.
money for
Let
the
me explain
Bahamas.
you
It's
something.
going in our North Miami
Okay,
Foundation.
it's going to the no.
Should- I don't think the city
No,
should
no.
collect a dang dime.
So who's collecting the money?
That's what this management has to
That's
do.
the manager is doing.
And then
it.
once management collects money,
Management's not.
He's
gonna
gonna
collect
find
it.
out. Listen. The
well,
people.
but my
if you don't
question
want
is,
it,
where's the
listen.
money going?
It's going
the
to the
Bahamas.
government of Bahamas.
Is it going to
We
the
are
government?
we are in contact with, as a matter of fact, we are working on create a sister city with Grand Bahama, with Freeport. That's when we are in contact with the consulate, we are in contact with members of the government over there. That's when the money is going to the government. We're not gonna
So-
give a non-profit or a church the
Okay,
money.
Really?
That's what I'm just what I'm trying to find out. We've got people, I wanna know where it's going, if we're giving it to
Those
the.
people who wanna know where it's going, they're not gonna give a dime. That's not about the people.
May
The
I try to
people-
clarify what I
Yes.
think your intent is? I think the intent is giving the administration direction to use
The
our
city.
resources to try to put something together.
Together, yeah.
I don't think the mayor is suggesting, nor would I approve of the city of North Miami or any of its staff taking anybody's cash or money
Yeah, yeah.
or putting it into any city account. That's exactly how we got fined by
No,
the Ethics
we're not
Commission
gonna
10
do
years
that.
ago.
That's why I'm questioning.
That's
how-
not what we are
who's got the
going to
money,
do.
And then where is it going?
So let's just say it's the Red Cross.
Is
and they
going,
put
no,
the
we're
money-
not gonna
no,
give
no,
them,
no,
no
no,
Red
I know,
Cross.
I know, no, 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 no.
The
There's
money
no
is
other-
going
there's
to
no
the
other similar.
government
Right, so whatever,
entity, not
whoever
the
is accepting
private
it,
sector.
whoever is accepting that money will be somebody we have contracted with to accept that money, and then that money will go wherever they see fit. We're just using our city location, maybe the showmobile.
And everything, yeah,
Our tweets, you know, that kind of thing to do
to
something.
raise the money.
But I think we can all agree, the city of North Miami will not accept nor hold on to a penny of any proceeds.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are you clear?
Miss- Any question you want from us, Mr.
No,
Manager?
I got the direction.
So,
Okay.
one last question.
Mhm.
So so the money that the organization or the promoter that you have to put the concert for would be collecting and giving you a report of accountability.
I'll have to figure,
Okay.
the
The city
logistics out.
manager gonna
Yeah.
figure it out who and then who's getting the money.
Okay. And when is this? What's the timeline?
We don't know yet.
Tomorrow.
He's gonna put it together.
Well,
Tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Tomorrow. I wanna be here.
After hurricane season?
Give me a few days, to work on some of the.
Yeah, if we can do it at the end of this month, and then we are putting together a I don't know who wanna go over there. Not the city clerk.
I'll go.
And now, let's go for reports.
Okay. Hope to see everybody for the bike ride Saturday if we don't have a tropical storm. We're stopping at Jamba Juice and the Knights of Columbus, which is located in the J.C. Hall.
Yes, we are going to, sorry, let's open, let's
sorry.
have citizen
Oh,
forum
thought you
first,
said
sorry.
Reports. Sorry.
Citizen forum is now open.
On the roll.
Ah, yes.
Jessica Austin, 1140 Northwest 125 Street, Sunkist Grove. So easily forgotten. When we had the friendly audit that said that the city was $8.4 million in deficit, it was an agreement among you to say that the parties and these social events would be declared a moratorium on for a year. And here we are, the second meeting into the new year, and you're planning another one. When these events occur, fundraising events, the artists donate their gifts to the people. They are not paid. This is pure donation, just as the city donates the sites and the resources, so the artists. No one should be on a pay scale for a donation concert. This party mentality was supposed to have been exercised last year, and here it comes up again. I'm disappointed that you did not keep your word. I hope you will reconsider. There are many ways to help the Bahamas, to help people without giving a party. Concert, call it what you may. And again, when benefit concerts are given, people are not paid salaries. Artists perform free. Free. Thank you.
Hello, Marisol Medina, 1270 Northeast 124th Street. It sounds a little unorganized with whom we're gonna give this money. Well, I mean, you said the government, but outside of that, I agree with her about it being a completely free thing. Us providing the stage, us providing the personnel that are gonna help with the activity, but I don't think we should be paying anybody. They should do it out of the kindness of their hearts to help the Bahamas. Also, I wanted to speak about this travel situation and resolution from 2015 R54. It says that the only travel that we should be doing should benefit the city's residents. And it doesn't speak anything else about going to other countries or places that do not help out the citizens of the city in which you are traveling for. And I'm just gonna stop there. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. I'd like to second the sentiments of the former two speakers. I too believe that in a benefit concert that the featured acts which are being featured, which are being given a stage and a focus, that's its own reward. And it should be rewarding for them to be able to donate that minimal amount of time without remuneration. I think that just goes without saying, and that's the history of these concerts, going back to the concert in Bangladesh in around 1970. I would like to follow up, if it's okay, Scott, on the hurricane concerns, and how we should be increasing our hardening of the city and replacing our vulnerable housing stock, particularly our housing stock. I don't know if you realize, but one of the reasons why so much was torn up at the Bahamas is because you had a lot of low-level homes, and as the wind goes across the top of it in a straight line, it'll be at its maximum speed, creating a negative, an uplift pressure, ripping roofs off, blowing in the winds and ripping off roofs. When you hit a mountain range, that is foiled. It's diminished greatly. If you had a series of tall buildings, that would also take the brunt. If you had a series of tall buildings, that would diminish the winds by diverting them and compromising them. That taller building, if hurricane hardened and new, would take a great beating at the upper levels and the corners, but it's already designed for that. And what it would do is, if you had a series, theoretically, if you had walls of high-rise buildings throughout any metropolitan area, it's going to dissipate the winds and save the lower buildings down below. I think we should consider that, and I think we should try to promote additional height, additional zoning and such, and quickly replace the vulnerable housing stock as soon as possible. On top of that, we've talked about this many times, but I think we need to exempt the structured parking or pedestal parking, get every new structure up off the ground, off the floodplain, away from the bugs, less vulnerable for crime, better for your cars, better for views, better for plantings, better for absorption of rainwater and floodwater. I'm not too sure why we haven't done that. We need to exempt the structured parking, get everything up as soon as possible, and even then call for those paved areas down below through the building department or whatever, raise that. Raise it 1 or 2 feet over the existing street level so we become prepared, gradually become prepared, rather than have that much more to contend with that we could have addressed now and didn't. Let's try to minimize our task down the line by being aware of all these items now. Thank you for your consideration.
Citizen forum still open. Citizen forum is now closed. Council reports.
Bike ride. I've already spoke on the bike ride. Appreciate all the relief efforts people have been donating. Mayor Bieneme, if it is not appropriate for us to use our travel money, I would be willing to travel with you to the Bahamas. I would use my own money.
You say it's not appropriate.
I said if it is not appropriate
if
to
it's
use
not,
city
okay.
travel, I would be willing to accompany you
Okay.
with my own funds. And also if you think there's something that we would accomplish by seeing what's there, I mean, you can pretty much see if there's something we can do and we're not in the way, then They don't want people just going over there, so if, I know you have, contacts over there, so I would be willing to go without city funds. And, that's it.
Thank you very much. Scott?
Sure, I just want to tip my hat to Commander Brinson and everybody who, on city staff, North Miami Police, PIO, et cetera, who were round the clock on duty for a storm that thankfully did not hit us. Yeah, Larry too, yeah. Our city manager, okay. No, there were a lot of people behind the scenes who were tuned in to the emergency operations, who answered questions, who put out press releases, you know, stop chopping down your trees when the storm is 30 miles out. But even though we were lucky this one missed us, I appreciate all the time and energy everybody put into making sure we were as prepared as we could be. And that's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
I estimate Irvin.
Again, just want to thank the residents, the business owners that provided donations for our Bahamas relief effort. Also want to remind District 3 resident that we're going to have a town hall on September 19. We'd love for you to come and participate and be present.
District 4.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just for the record, just wanted to echo, I think, what Councilman Galvin and other have said about the relief. This is a time where our brothers and sisters in the Bahamas are in need, and I commend you for taking the lead on this to do that. I wouldn't mind to go, perhaps maybe after what we do, we go there and present a check. I think it's good if we go and actually do something, because they said they need money. But to some comments that was made tonight, I don't think there are times that it's appropriate to comment on certain things. I remember a couple years ago when Haiti was struck, residents came through, and a lot of my colleagues have thanked residents. And as you come to the lobby, everybody's coming, giving whatever that they can. The approach that you may agree or disagree with the mayor, something is being done. Florida, the governor just announced Florida, the state, is already giving $11 million to the victims, corporations everywhere. So this is not a time to really criticize on the processes. The Bible talks about how we need to help our neighbors, and certainly this is a neighbor in need, so we need to do whatever we can. So, Mr. Mayor, I stand with you, with the city manager, whatever that we may do, if a concert, whatever that we need to do, if we need to call up folks to raise whatever that we need to do to help our brothers and sisters to the Bahamas, to the residents who have giving countless, some of them countless hours of back and forth. I think we have rooms full of supplies and stuff. Yeah. Please continue doing that, but they do need the money, because the rebuild effort is so far, it's not looking good, and we need to do what we can to help our brothers in need, because it may not be us. And Mr. Pavitel, you mentioned that it's not us, but we could have been in that situation, and I wouldn't want somebody in another state to make a comment, or another country, well, we're not giving them because travel and all this and all that. Just so we need to knock on wood and thank God it's not us, but do have a heart that there might be others who need the help and support. So again, thank you, and
thank you very much, Councilman Desilme. And you know, for sure, most of the people complaining are the one who's not gonna give a dime, whether it was they're not going to contribute. And if you see the amount of supplies we receive from the residents, it's overwhelming, and we have to thank the residents and those items. And I ask staff and the administration to coordinate with the county and Park and Rec, so we can take them to Miami-Dade County Commission, and so that they have a better way of sending those items and to the people in need, to the government of Bahamas. That means we don't need nothing, and it's going straight to the government. Now it's up to the government to decide where they want to deliver those items, those supplies. And when it comes to money, and we raise money before and take it to to schools in the Bahamas, especially in Freeport. That's mean it's not new to us. We didn't use city resources to do so. And it's a tragedy, and I think we're all concerned with that, and we're going to continue to support and help and the people of Bahamas. And I know we have a lot of residents in the city of North Miami. They're from the Bahamas, or they have close or related family over there. That's mean it's a crisis, and we need the participation of everyone, and we're pleased to have those great residents of the beautiful city of North Miami who contribute. And thank you very much, and we're going to continue, and we're going to move forward with that. Madam Clerk, do you have any reports for the board's appointments?
Yes, first off, for anybody planning on taking an overseas trip, now is the best time, if you do not already have a passport, to stop by the city clerk's office and get one. This is the only method of advertisement I have available to me, so here it is. Tell a friend. I want to remind.
What do you mean?
I mean what I said.
What did you say?
Excuse me?
What did you say?
I said this is the only method of advertisement I have
passport
available
now
to
if
me
you
at
want
the
a
moment. So if you need a passport, stop by the city clerk's office and get one.
You said that's the only.
Method of advertisement available to me at the moment. Each one, teach one. Tell a friend. Okay. Secondly, respect and decorum is everything. We may not all ever agree, but even so, please allow whoever is speaking to have the floor. And personnel board adjustments, or personnel board appointments.
I want to appoint Lumana Joseph
I'd
to the
like-
board.
Shayna Gitfill,
Which board are we on?
personnel.
Personnel board.
No,
This is
personnel.
personnel.
Okay.
And you have this here.
Yeah,
the
yeah, no, I didn't
applications.
hear her say what
Oh,
we were
okay.
doing. I just heard everybody
Right.
start saying.
Yeah,
No, she said
names.
personnel.
She said
You
personnel.
know, Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, you and Gertie, whoever put this together, this was very thoughtful. This little binder, which is fine. Okay, I'm on it, personnel, okay.
We couldn't afford tabs either.
No, this is fine. Okay, so the two
You have the
applicants.
appointments for the personnel, right?
Who do I have on there as my appointee?
Let's see. You have no one. It's
Okay.
vacant.
All right.
So
You
we
wanna
can,
reappoint the
if
same
there's a
person?
motion,
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I don't know who's on there.
so if there's a motion, we can make these appointments.
So move with these two names? There's only
I
two
didn't
names
even
on
hear what the names were. Can
So
we-
I appointed Shayna Gitfill.
Okay, let's
I don't
see
know.
This
the
is for the
She-
personnel board?
This is for the personnel board.
personnel.
Is that in
board.
this package?
Yes.
Shayna who?
Shayna Gitfill. So,
Gitfill,
be-
yes,
yeah,
yes,
so
yeah,
before I
okay.
was elected, I actually served on the board with her. She's been
her.
on the board already, willing to serve, and
Okay.
so I'd like to appoint her.
Let me go to the city board.
Madam Clerk, do you know who my appointee is, if anyone?
You don't have anyone
Do I
here,
ha-
listed
Do I
here.
have the opportunity to appoint somebody?
Let's see.
Very good board, city board, city clerk.
That's kind of a weird board where staff appoints and at-large
Yeah.
appoints.
Yeah.
Right, so
This-
we would only have, well, we would have 3 people available, and if the council decides to go proceed with
Isn't
these
that
2,
just
there would be an opportunity to do a 3rd. So, we can have 1 member by the mayor without approval of the city council, which is, who he's proffering right now. Is that correct, Mayor?
Mhm.
Which would be, Lumana Joseph, would she be Group A for you or B?
B.
B?
Mhm.
Okay. So then, that wouldn't be possible because that Group B excludes you.
What happened?
Group B, you're excluded from.
Madam
I
Clerk,
understand that.
would you
That's when I
mind?
still have another one
Yeah,
from
we need to do
A.
this much more.
So
Right.
you have A, you're able to do it through, Group A.
Madam Clerk, could you kind of, just to refresh everyone's memory, kind of let them know how the setup is for the personnel board?
Okay.
Because you're talking Group A, Group B, so that everybody understands.
All right, so the
Thank you.
term of individuals, first of all, anybody serving on the personnel board must be an elector, and an elector would be defined as somebody who is registered to vote, specifically in the city of North Miami. That individual, again, must be a qualified voter, known to be in sympathy with the merit principle as applied to the civil service. Proof of residency is required, and no member of the personnel board shall be an employee of the city of North Miami, with the exception, well, no, actually, excuse me, but there are employee elections, okay? Not to be confused with that. The term is 3 years, except member and alternate appointed by the mayor shall be coterminous with the mayor's term of office. One member could be appointed by the mayor without approval of the city council. So that would be designated as Group A. Group B would be one member by the city council excluding the mayor.
Ah,
No,
we
that's
gotcha.
not what it says on the website.
Yeah, they got it changed, the
The
website.
website says vacant Group A, vacant Group B, at-large Mayor Bieneme.
So what I'm assuming happened there is that it must have been appointed by Councilman okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. So previously, I'm not sure how it was actually controlled, if anybody was really paying attention
They
to what the
wasn't.
resolutions were saying. There are multiple resolutions for some of these boards. So I went through, we created this extremely thorough report to kind of outline it. And to make sure that everything we're doing moving forward is organized, 1, streamlined, 2, and 3, according to the law.
Amen.
Thank you. And so that's where all of this is actually coming from. And so there may be some errors and some appointments that may have been off, but that's exactly what we're trying to correct here right now. To continue. One member is another person, which would be Group C, could be appointed by the city council, again, without the mayor. One member elected by the employees designated as Group D, which we already had somebody in that role. An election took place.
That person was not an employee.
You don't have to be an
Right.
employee.
Elected
Employee
by the
elected.
employees, but not an employee.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, that's.
One member elected by the employees
Who is an employee?
designated as Group E. So we recently had an election and somebody was appointed to that position.
Got it.
And finally, one member by the mayor with the approval of the city council who shall be designated the alternate.
So the mayor has two?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. So we as members, it's only one collectively, Group B.
You have
Well,
two.
Group C.
Two
Group
without me.
B.
The B
And C.
and C, that's it?
Yeah.
What's A?
A is the
A is the
mayor.
mayor by
me.
himself.
So they need to
This
change
is,
this.
no,
Yeah,
no,
they
no.
gotta
Ignore
clean it
the
up.
chart,
Oh,
read
okay.
read the text. The
Mhm.
text is accurate, the chart is wrong.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just a
Okay.
little, okay, so
Okay.
you would like to, well, in that case, then if it's one for all of us, you
I'm
putting
recommending
your one for
Shayna.
all of us. And is that what it is?
Well, you would vote. You
No,
could-
no, no, I know, I don't
Well,
I don't have someone, I just wanted to know.
Well,
So
I
this
mean,
person is an attorney?
individuals
She's also an
submitted
attorney, yes. And she currently
applications, and
serves.
so far we've only received 2 applications. And
Lumana
so
for
we
mine.
No,
can
not
and will
yours.
continue
Yours
to
is
field applications from other interested individuals. But in the meantime, so that the Board of Adjustments can begin their work,
Personnel.
or Personnel Board, excuse me.
So now we're filling Group C with Ms. Glickfield,
Or B.
or B, okay. Well, B is not the at-large one, or is A that's the at-large for the mayor?
The alternate for the mayor is ignore what is written
I
in the
see,
chart.
Ignore the
Yeah.
chart, chart is
I'm
where.
not even
Okay.
sure if you're looking at a chart
So
on the
we
computer
going
or
by
where.
this
Yeah, we're
person.
looking at the
I
chart
don't
on
mind.
the-
I don't
online
have
right
any.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
don't look at the chart online.
Okay,
And don't look at your name that's written there either.
okay, because I'm
Okay.
like, I'm giving somebody.
All right.
So let's start
Okay.
with maybe vacant Group A and let the mayor make an appointment.
Yes.
It's Lumana Joseph.
Yes.
I'll second
With-
Ms. Joseph for
No,
Group
No,
don't
this
need-
isn't,
No,
this
no,
isn't.
no.
He has the right,
He
he,
just gives.
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm just trying to move this along.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Go ahead.
thank you.
Now,
Okay.
I would like, Group B is at large now, that excludes the mayor. Now, I'd like to propose,
You said you wanted to do C, so we could leave the at-large.
I didn't actually say anything. I'm just saying
Okay.
it now.
I would,
There is, okay, stop saying at large. It's not a term to be
Uh-huh.
used in this process as
Okay.
okay.
we
Okay.
are speaking right now, yes.
Got
In
it.
this, in this, board, no at large.
Okay.
So group B or group C?
Whatever group is appropriate, I'd like to appoint
Group
Shane.
B is for people without me. What do you have?
Right, so
And
I'd
so
like,
is group C.
Okay.
So, anybody
Who
else?
you
So we
got?
only have
So-
30 other boards we have to do
right.
this
Mhm.
with.
Shayna Glitfield
There's
is
only
the
one
person.
application.
It's only one.
So,
Okay.
I'll second Ms. Glickfield's.
Thank
All
you.
right. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm not there.
All opposed? All right. So, there was the motion made by, Councilwoman Estimate Irvin that Shayna Glickfield be appointed to the Personnel Board. It was seconded by Councilman Galvin, and she is appointed with a 4-0 vote.
And now, so we only have one more that any of us, the three of us could.
No, by the mayor,
no, not
approved
you.
by you.
No, not you.
Yes.
No. The group
Ask
C,
her.
right? The mayor don't get involved in Group C.
Yes, so there would be that
Yeah.
is also, that is now vacant.
Yeah.
Um,
So we
but
have
for
the three.
today, Group
Got
A, Lumana Joseph was
Yeah,
appointed
Group
by the mayor, and the
Group
council
B.
has appointed to Group B, Shayna Glickfield, and
D and E is already there.
yes.
Okay, perfect.
Who are D and E now?
Douglas,
No, I think that's
Highmarsh.
old. Is it?
No, Douglas Hindmarsh apparently is still, is valid, and, E now is, Mr. Jesus Ramon.
Okay.
Okay.
So that part of the website is accurate,
Mhm.
D and E.
Okay.
Okay, next,
All right,
That's it.
and then,
the library board, we're not there?
No, not
Um,
the,
Okay.
the CRA, do you have?
no, the CRA will be at the next meeting, and,
Planning Commission?
The next CRA meeting and the next regular
the
council
next
meeting?
CRA meeting.
Okay.
And if you're prepared to move forward, we can do the Board of Adjustment.
Yes.
I only plan to do the Personnel Board today, but if you're prepared for the Board of Adjustment, we can proceed.
Adjustment.
Good, fine, choice,
Adjustment is,
I'll go ahead and review the requirements once again, just so you have them in mind as you're reviewing these. The individual must be a city resident. They cannot hold any other elected office or be a city employee during their term of office. Members shall be chosen from persons with experience in the areas of planning, law, environmental science, the development industry, real estate development, engineering, architecture, former local government official, and other related local industries, except that the city council may appoint residents who do not satisfy these criteria if no person is available after reasonable search to appoint one person who does. No member will serve if obligated to the city for any recorded lien, fine, judgment, or if there is a code enforcement violation which has remained unsolved for 60 days or more without an appeal being taken. The term shall be coterminous with the appointing elected official's term of office. Board members appointed by the city council as a whole shall be coterminous with the mayor's term of office. Each member of the city council shall nominate one person, 2 additional at-large members, 2 additional at-large alternate members, and it's subject to the approval of a majority of the city council.
Mr. Mayor,
can,
Yes.
may I ask that we continue this because
Okay,
again, I'm looking
second,
at the
yeah.
website and that chart is so off. For instance, it doesn't even mention that District 3 has an appointment. And it gives 2 to the mayor and 2 to Mr. Desilme, 1 each to me and Keys, but nothing to Mary Estimate. I think all of that just needs to
Right.
be cleared up and cleaned out so we can all look at
But-
a good chart when we're making nominations.
Madam Clerk, I just want to ask a question. I believe I made an appointment for the Board of Adjustment,
I have one.
if I'm not
We
mistaken.
haven't
No,
do
we
that
haven't
yet,
done it
no.
yet.
No, we haven't done it.
No, we
I
removed that, we
appointed-
said that we need
Oh, you removed
applications.
yeah, we had.
We
moved
didn't
applications.
vote on it.
Yes, we did, because he actually
No.
served already on there since
was
I've been
that?
here.
Well,
That
we
would
had
be
tried
Howard.
to stop that, but you wanted
Oh, yeah, we did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe that I do
Before
have
we
an
went
appointment
to
already.
recess, before we went,
Right, I
yeah,
appointed
yeah.
Howard
Yeah, that's true,
Tompkin.
that's true. He wasn't
So-
the planning?
No, it was with the Board of Adjustment, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
He was for planning.
It was for planning?
Yeah, he was for
Okay,
planning.
so
Okay.
then I
Yeah.
stand
Can we
corrected.
Next
continue
week
this so
for,
we
yeah.
can
Yes.
clear-
Okay, that's fine.
And
That's
ask
Yeah,
Betsy
yeah.
to
Okay,
just clean us
perfect.
up.
Okay.
Alrighty,
Are you done?
I'm done.
Yes. City manager reports and
No report, sir.
city attorney.
I just want to thank you all for making time to come to the executive session. I know it was a quick turnaround, and that's all I want to say. Thank you so much, and hopefully we don't have another one in a long time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.